Welcome to NESportsFanTV. I'm your host, Steve Thompson. Got a lot of great stuff on the show tonight. You got Red Sox highlights down at Fenway Park. They're taking on Toronto Blue Jays. You got big news on Dante Hightower. The latest on the NFL draft tomorrow night. Latest on the Bruins GM search. And my encouragement for Clay Buchholz. Enjoy the show.
Hard hit into right. Back at the wall. Play clock at 5. Pass is a Horton. The drive stop. Looking aggressive to Thomason. And looking at.
Let's jump right into the highlights. You got Rick Porcello. Really impressive outing today. Check out this highlight reel catch by Mookie Betts in center field. Unbelievable catch. My sister is actually at the game tonight. He's sending me pictures left and right, so that's pretty cool. You got Hanley Ramirez here with another home run. Guy has 10 in the month of April, 23 RBIs, most ever for a Red Sox player in the month of April, so that was pretty cool. You got kind of a strange play here. You got Mookie Betts with the single to right field, scores a run, but then watch this play here. They changed the rule a couple of years ago because they didn't want catchers getting slammed into the plate, you know, concussions and all that kind of stuff that they're trying to prevent. So the new rule is, you know, the catcher cannot block the plate until he has the ball. But clearly you can see here that the catcher is blocking the plate way before he has the ball. So you know, the runner has nowhere to slide. They still call him out. They even reviewed it. You know, they went back to New York, who's, when it comes to replays, you know, they're pretty useless. They never really overturn calls. So they're all like, you know, Red Sox haters and what have you. You know what it is to be a Boston sports fan. So, you know, they didn't overturn the call, so who knows really what the rule is, if it's just in there for the hell of it. Not really sure, but the Red Sox went on to win 4-1. Porcello's best start of the year. 7 innings, 1 run, so his ERA is still over 5, which, if you ask me, that's still ridiculous. The guy's making over almost $20 million a year. They gave him a stupid extension, if you ask me. The guy hasn't even pitched in a Red Sox uniform yet. You don't know if he can handle the pressure or whatnot. Give him the extension, so who knows? You know, hopefully it works out. I'm not really sold on the guy. Quite honest, I'm not really sold on any of the Red Sox pitchers at this point. Even Urahara is kind of shaky. He looked great tonight. He struck out the side in the 9th, which is awesome to see. His fastball still nowhere near it was last year, so see how he holds up. You know, there's a bunch of rumors out there that Papelbon wants to come back to Boston, and Philadelphia is willing to trade him. So who knows? You know, hopefully that works out. You can never have enough arms in the bullpen. I say, you know, if you don't have to give up the whole crap load of a lot, why not bring Papelbon back? What do you guys think? Would you bring him back? You know, I know I definitely would. You know, see what happens. You know, Hanley Ramirez is hitting the cover off the ball. Ortiz is starting to heat up, so that's awesome. He's normally a slow starter in the month of April. Well, hopefully he picks that up in the month of May. You know, just need everyone to chip in. Dustin Pedroia needs to start hitting. I know he's hitting about 280 right now, so throughout his career he's been over a 300 hitter, so need him to pick it up a little bit. So see what happens. You know, I'm not satisfied myself. $180 million payroll, and this is the best pitching staff they can give us. You know, I think it's kind of a joke personally, but see what happens. You know, there's rumors of Cole Hamels, which I don't want. He's had crappy luck against the American League his whole career. So, you know, he's a National League pitcher. He gets to pitch against a pitcher, and his ERA is not that great. So I say let Philadelphia keep him and go back, you know, go after Zimmerman from Washington. I'd be willing to give up a lot to get that guy. That guy's awesome. He's younger. He's, you know, 28 years old. He throws hard. He's got great stuff. What would you guys give up to bring in Zimmerman? You know, I know I'd give a lot. Maybe not Mookie Betts, but I'd give up some, you know, pretty high prospects to go get him. He's younger. You can sign him to an extension. Cole Hamels is a lot older, and there's also some rumors about Cliff Lee, which is ridiculous. That guy's like way over his prime. He's had arm issues left and right. So I hope they just don't go after Philadelphia pitchers. You know, stay away from them. So another news, you got the Patriots breaking news tonight. You got the Patriots extending Dante Hightower for an extra year. No, it really just picked up his 5th-year option. You can call it an extension or whatever you want to call it. But he'll be here through 2016. The last year that deal's worth almost $8 million. So that guy's a warrior. He played half of last year with one shoulder, which is pretty incredible. You know, a lot of guys just get a toenail broken, and they're on the sidelines left and right. Look at Clay Buchholz. We got to get him going. The guy a couple years ago, he has no hitters, and now he can't even get out of the 3rd inning. So us as Red Sox Nation, we got to pick that guy up. Send him encouraging emails. If you can get his phone number somehow, send him a text. Encourage the guy. There's obviously something mental with him because he's still got good stuff. But if we want to go anywhere this year, we got to get that man on track. I'm not ready to give up on him. You hear a lot of people saying, trade Clay, trade him. Like, hell no. It's like, we need that guy. He can still be an ace. You just need to get his head straight. So let's send him some encouragement. Send him, if you can get his info on Facebook, send him encouragement on Facebook. Do it after you do. Us as Red Sox Nation, we got to get this guy back on track. So, another news, you get the draft tomorrow night. Pretty pumped up for that. Who the hell knows who the Patriots are what they're going to do tomorrow night. Are they going to trade up? Are they going to trade out of the 1st round? Nobody knows. You got Mike Mayock guessing left and right. They're going to take Gregory out of Nebraska. He has no freaking idea what Belichick's going to do. Nobody does. He could trade up into the top 5, surprise us all, and go after a guy the Jets want, which would be absolutely sweet. If you ask me, go up and get the player the Jets want. They're picking pretty high at number 6. Go right up in front of them at number 5 and find out who the heck they want to take. Go up and grab them. Just a little virtual middle finger for tampering with Revis. Anything we can do to get back at the Jets, I'm all for. So that's all I got for tonight's show. You got you get the Bruins still trying to decide on who to pick as their GM. So Jeff Gorton, as I was telling you the last episode, his name's still out there. Ray Ferraro's no longer in the running. So that's one less guy. You still got Don Sweeney. So hopefully they make a decision soon. Kind of getting tired of waiting. I think pretty much everybody is. Who do you want the Bruins to get as their next general manager, and who do you want the Patriots to draft tomorrow night in the 1st round? I'm definitely leaning more towards defense myself. I think we got enough offensive weapons, but D-line help's definitely needed. Eddie Goldman, if he's there at 32 or if he's a few picks earlier, I'd go up and get him. That guy, Vince Wilfork, in the making. So see what they do. Again, that's all I got for tonight's episode. Trivia question, what number draft pick was Paul Pierce when the Celtics drafted him? Leave a comment below. Let me know, what you think the answer is. Have a good night.